Getting started with ComfyUI. Learn in some minutes. Contains approximately 6 points. The first one is the installation of ComfyUI. In fact, it is a basic introduction to drawing. Then introduce the workflow. 3 basic commonly used. One is the workflow production of playground drawings. There is also a workflow production of drawings. There is also a workflow production for partial redrawing. These are the 3 most commonly used functions. Finally, let's introduce the download and download all the required plugins and models. One click to get it done. Alright. First, let's briefly introduce the basic structure. ComfyUI has its own graph model. The most basic structure is like this. By default, these modules are indispensable. In order to facilitate the understanding of this graph structure, ComfyUI's raw graph structure, you can think of it as a camera. This camera, the most basic parts are essential. These parts must be covered. Only then can you produce pictures normally. This is the most basic structure that makes up the graph generation function. You can understand this sampler. It's a motherboard. I can go and show you the comparison right away. This sampler is equivalent to the motherboard. Motherboard. There is a lens connected to the motherboard. You can understand it as a model. And then there's the viewfinder. You can understand it as positive and negative. It's what determines the content of the screen. The next one is the image attribute. You can understand the image inside this camera. Setup. Next to this VIE, you can simply understand it as a processor for image generation. Do you think it is the CPU image processing inside the camera? Preview of the last graph. This window. You can understand it as a display screen and the camera. So its basic principle is actually the same as that of a camera. These are the most basic structure. Indispensable. Then I'll show you how to make this. Use Playground to create because pictures. This model is currently the most awesome. I'll introduce this. Default. All had this structure. That's how it is. I'm just here. Put the model I downloaded into it, then change its model. Its template model is now changed to Playground 2.5 model. Download something. This is provided in my notes. Just download it directly. Then install it. Or you can open this manager directly. Then search and install what you need. This model will do it. Just search here. Just download it directly. Oh, this is a raw picture of Playground. That's very simple. Its only disadvantage is that it must set the size to 1024, so it does not support other sizes. As for these parameters, for example, this model has a weight of 1. Then CF values are. I can use this as a reference. The number of steps is 20 or 30. Generally, for this basic parameter, just refer to. Then this can be done randomly. Just choose random. You can also choose to fix. That's very simple. I won't hit this thing anymore. For example, there's a select random. You can just choose this randomly. Then introduce on. One quick installation. You can download this Pinocchio. This is the tool. After downloading this Pinocchio, it has many built-in AI tools. You choose this ComfyUI. Click to open, click to download. It's installed with one click, so I won't teach you this. It's very simple. Just download it, and you can directly upgrade it, and nothing else. Just upgrade directly. Just run it directly. I won't introduce the functions of this panel. This is very simple. Save. Clear. Default preset. To introduce this manager. If installed using Pinocchio, there is a benefit. It is preset with the plugin of this manager. If you encounter download, online download will not found. For example, it can click on the missing file. It will automatically find and then display. You just need to check all the missing files. Click install and open the workflow. This way it can be avoided. Find missing plugins yourself. It's too laborious to figure out where to install it. So this plugin is very powerful. The basic introduction. Now briefly introduce this workflow. There is no setting for the second graph to generate the graph. What I use here is online. Running slowly when running locally. Online I use to run cloud. Online ComfyUI software. Optional graphics card. You can choose 4090. Click it and wait for it to run successfully. Just enter this software. This will make it more convenient and faster. Drawing pictures is very simple. Just add a function to generate pictures from this picture. This is just a window for importing pictures. This. Others are. There is no difference. Correct. There is another way to operate this playground. Just add this. Continuously tested. A continuous test was added in the middle. Originally, this was connected to the motherboard tester. This setting adds a continuous acquisition in the middle. But in fact, there is not much difference in the effect of the generated image, so it's okay to use it or not. You can roughly compare. Let me also introduce the addition of this detector. The way is very simple. Just like if I delete it, is this one missing in the middle? You can drag it out and add more. Here's a quick and easy one. You can search this. EDM. This way you can find him directly. Just double-click an empty space to search. For example, there is a title in front of each of these. I probably know the first few letters. You can search directly. I will just use this method to find it here. Like this. Click in and find his storage location. In this continuous sampler, then put this. It's connected to this model and this model. Same as on this sampler. So you connect this to this. It's sandwiched between them. That's it. Then change this to playground 2.5 sampler. But there's not much difference. I'm here to teach you how to set it up. It's open here. Now enter a setting of this graph. For example, this is a default. This can directly generate pictures. This model, it defaults to 2.5. What? Why? I'm looking for one. The real kind. A model of a real person. Whatever. I won't introduce it. This is very simple. This is what some samplers do. What are the steps? Then the way is sampling. Then this wedge. I won't care about this for now. TU上, first you need to import a picture. So you must first. The tool that imports images. I can't even read this in English if I open it. Just click on it as per my reference. Just know what functions it has. This mode is to import pictures. Then open anyone. A picture you need to refer to. Put it here. Then, this now just imports a picture that you want to reference. Now drag this out and let go. This. Click on this to see a function of Tutotial 2. Then the link is very simple. This links to the mask via e-linked model. It is equivalent to I linked this via E and this model in the middle of this mask. Generated like this. Just look at this and disconnect it now. So this is useless. The graph generated like this. He will refer to the size. It has no size setting. Of course, I will introduce how to increase the size settings, such as this. Just a girl. Just hit a girl. We can generate it. Take a look at the effect. When generated, it will because you didn't set the weight, it's 1, so it's too high. It's completely different. You can set it low. 0.3 change it. Then it will be born. It will be close to your reference image. It's close to your reference picture. Almost close. This is a basic workflow for drawing pictures. In generally, I need to add image control. So add an image control. At this time, you are the one to untie. Yes. Drag it out from this picture. The bottom one is the image attribute. Graph line size controls this. Because it can now receive this image size setting, so output from here to this. This way you can control the image size. Use this to adjust. For example, if I increase his height. For example, adjust it to 1000, then the setting below. If you set this, he will deform. Let's try it and see. He will transform. If I change it to this crop, in the second mode it will be cropped. It will not deform. But generally, we don't adjust images like this. Usually, this is the image 512. Just multiply it by 512 according to the proportion. Don't touch this image either. Just default. If you want to resize the image, here is to add a proportional scaling. In this way, you can make the image larger. There is no need to make it bigger here. The same thing is dragging it out from here. This one at the bottom, this is a. Now it's like connecting to this, in the middle of the image size. This is what controls the ratio. Connect this to the image size. Here is in between. I can adjust this ratio to 2. This is a control of the scaling ratio, and then generate. His picture is very big. It is much more convenient to control the proportional scaling through this. This is the end of the introduction. TU 上 TU. Add image size control. Add zone control. Next, we will introduce a setting for this partial redrawing. This function is actually the same as this one. No need for this, if you need to use the setting. The size is the same as before. The link is now available. This is a module of Tutotial 2. This is not neither. Drag to add here. Then like this V behind Inpaint. Inpaint. Just follow my instructions. I can't read English, but as long as I know what it's for. This is just a picture, not a function of local drawing. Then the same as the previous link. This is also a linked model. This one is linked to this motherboard. There's a link between them. Then it adds a mask. Because you need to apply it later. So this mask should follow. This image mask is connected together. This constitutes partial redrawing. Because this does not set the size, so it sets it up. It will be the same size as this picture. At this time, you need to apply it. Then press it to create the painted area. You have to pass this mask. Right-click on this. Select this mask to edit. I can't pronounce this mask English either. Anyway, just follow my instructions for mask editing. For example, I need to apply this logo. Go modify this part. I will just apply it to this area. Click Save. Then you will see that this has been smeared by me. Then the function of the mask just now is monitor this location. Local. Partial repair. Partial redraw. Then here we can change it to a girl. Blue lips. I'm going to change her lip color. Because if you don't change the prompt, she doesn't know what you want to change either. So let's click here and change the lips. Then don't adjust these first. Try it and see the effect. It will appear like this. Not a very good effect. At this time, let's adjust this parameter a little bit. For example, change this weight to 0.3. Then change the sampling mode to DP. 称字速3。Change this to 30. The lower the CF value is changed, the more realistic it is. I don't know how to explain a tester. Anyway, this effect will be better. Then this is the weight. Modify weight. Then generate it again. Here has barely changed. Let me see if there's any problem. 称字速 0.5. Regenerate. A little change. Turn it down a little. Make it bigger. Just be normal now. Already changed to blue. Select and adjust to 1. Just try this a few times yourself. If it is 1, there will be no change. No change. This one is better. Therefore, this way has a greater impact. This is a basic construction method for partial redrawing. Actually, this is the one. As for how you want to increase the size control of it, that's the same as before. Remove this link. Drag it from here to increase the size. Then link to the image from here. Control this way. Okay, this partial redrawing is also completed. I will put this in my notes. You can download this workflow. The settings are also here. Download this workflow file. Just open it. Yeah. Finally, let me introduce the most awesome workflow website, Comfy Workflows. Open its website. It's basically workflow for generating images in generating Then you videos. Can search for the features you need. It also has various functions. Then click download. Download workflow. He can also view it directly online. This workflow is edited in the same way as this. Can be used directly. Then it will display this workflow next to it. What plugins I use or model. But you can just download the workflow. Never mind this. Then open this workflow locally. You will find that you may not have installed this plugin. It will prompt you. Of course, there's no need to worry about this. At this time, you can open this manager. Then click on the second one. I can't pronounce this in English. But its function is to help you find the workflow or missing plugins and models. After clicking on, he will list all your missing models. At this time, you just need to install all these models. Then open the workflow. It's ready to use. So this is the benefit of this plugin. He has this automatic workflow, then automatically download and install a function. This makes it easier for us to download. Various workflows can be moved locally and arranged and used by yourself. Okay, that's it for this issue.